for joining us. Let me start off with Nuhu Adams. I went through the results. For me, the shocking one was, first of all, Nigeria failing to win at home. And then Somalia, for the first time in a long while, over 3 decades, managing to avoid defeat against a Guinea team with a lot of talented players. For you, which results surprised you during this international break?
I think the Somalia game with Guinea 0-0 is the most surprising results of all the matches that were played, because we all know where Somalia are ranked, and we know the level of football that is being played in Somalia. We know the sort of talent and quality Guinea also possesses. They are having Sehu Gurasi, who is leading the UEFA Champions League top scoring charts in the side. So many of us were expecting at least Guinea to get 1 goal past Somalia, but that was not the story. Somalia were able to get a 0-0 draw, which was a remarkable result for them. But I think one thing that we were not paying attention to was that Somalia are gradually picking up their pieces. They are following the suit of the big African nations. They are going into the diaspora. They are going to Australia. They are going to Canada. They are going to USA. They are going to wherever they have players with Somalian descent to get them into the national team. So for the first time, I saw a Somalia team that had about 4 to 5 players who were foreign based, especially they were born and raised in those countries. So that was a positive one for Somalia. Nigeria and Zimbabwe wasn't a surprising result if we are taking into consideration the recent results of Nigeria at home. I think the last 5 World Cup qualifiers they played at home, either Abuja, Lagos, or Uyo, they've managed just 1 win out of a possible 5 or 6. So I wasn't surprised. Yes, after winning 2-0 against Rwanda, the expectations were very high, but some of us were skeptical about how they were going to fare against Zimbabwe. So I wasn't surprised Zimbabwe came back to get that point. So I think now the destiny is in the hands of Nigeria. They will have to come back stronger, make sure they win all remaining 4 matches before they can get any hopes of qualifying for the World Cup. But for now, they are in a very tight position, very, very critical situation, and I'm not going to be a prophet of doom. Maybe we are not going to see Nigeria in the World Cup next year.
Well, that will be interesting to see. Well, before I go to my next question, let's go to the table quickly. Algeria leads their group with 15 points. Mozambique following very much closely, also with 12 points in their group. Then Botswana, Uganda, Guinea, and Somalia follow through on the table. Let's move to the next. Then Egypt also leading their table with 16 points. Then Burkina Faso following closely, but there's a difference of 5 points as well. Then Sierra Leone, Ethiopia, Guinea-Bissau, and Djibouti are also in the picture in that group as well. Then we move to another group where Tunisia, one of the best teams in terms of qualifiers on the African continent, leading by difference of 4 points. They have 16 points. Namibia also following closely with 12 points, a difference of 4 points. Liberia, Equatorial Guinea, Malawi, and Sao Tome and Principe are the other teams that follow in that group. Then the big one for me, the surprise here, Cape Verde, 13 points. Cameroon, 12 points. Libya, 8 points. Angola, 7 points. A keenly contested group. So Cape Verde has leapfrogged Cameroon to the top spot in their group. It's a conversation we'll have shortly. Then we'll move to another group as well. After Cape Verde, Morocco, very much almost a job done, 15 points, and Niger is at 6 points, so almost a 9-point difference. So at this point, it's fair to say the next win for Morocco, and they've almost guaranteed their spot at the next World Cup. If the Ghana also leading the group based on a difference of 3 points, leading 15 points, Comoros second with 12 points. And so Ghana will need to win their next 2 games and then ensure that their chance of qualification very much are ensured. So well, that's it from the group table. DR Congo also big one there, leading their group in a group that has DR Congo, Senegal, Sudan, Togo. DR Congo leapfrogs Sudan and Senegal to first place now, 13 points. Senegal also on 12 points. Sudan on 12 points, but Sudan and Senegal are separated by a goal difference. So that's the big one from here. DR Congo leapfrog Senegal and Sudan to first spot. Cape Verde also leapfrog Cameroon to the first spot. So Group B and Group C solid twists that could define their qualification chances. DR Congo we saw on the table side steps Sudan and Senegal to the top of their group in Group B. Also in Group C we saw Nigeria also slip up while South Africa has consolidated their grip on the top of the table. Nuhu, if you're still with us, what do you make of the whole situation in terms of the tables and how things have turned out?
I think after 6 matches, we've seen that the boys are separating themselves from the men. Countries that didn't start the qualifications on a good note are gradually picking up, with the exception of Nigeria and Mali. I think all the other countries have stepped up with their performance. Senegal didn't start well, DR Congo didn't start well, but they've all come back stronger. Now you look at their group, which is closely contested. Now, DR Congo on 12, we have Sudan 11, Senegal also 11. So the next round of matches, where we see DR Congo hosting Senegal, will be a determining factor whether Senegal or DR Congo will be advancing from that group. You go to Morocco group, is almost done deal for Morocco. They started the tournament, they started the qualifications on a bright note. They are unbeaten. I think they are the only team or the only country with 100% record, having won all of their games, and they are on the right path. We are expecting them to seal qualification in the next international break. We've seen Ivory Coast also telling everybody why they are African champions. Also playing 6 matches, winning 5, drawing 1, scoring 14, and conceding no goal. That's a remarkable run by Cote d'Ivoire. You look at Cameroon. Cameroon will have themselves to blame for falling behind Cape Verde just because the preparations towards their game against Eswatini really affected them. That's why they drew that match. They arrived in South Africa the same day they were playing Eswatini, and that's why they couldn't put up that needed effort to get the win. Jet lag set in, so definitely they were struggling with their runs and all that. So for them to drop points against Eswatini, who appears to be the shipping boys of the group, that's going to affect Cameroon. And Quebec taking advantage, going to Angola to shock them with a 2-1 win. That should tell you Quebec did not come to play. They also want to be at the World Cup. Yeah, Ghana also, after failing to qualify for the AFCON, they needed to step up. 2 wins out of 2, 100% record in this window for Ghana, scoring 8 goals and conceding none, was just an outstanding performance by the Black Stars. Now, Ghana is hopeful the next 2-3 games, they should be able to navigate and get a qualification to the World Cup next year. South Africa is building on the momentum they got from the AFCON. They've been very, very lethal. One of the sides, very, very entertaining and very exciting to watch. I wasn't surprised they went to Benin to beat them, but already they are beating Lesotho. So for them, 6 out of 6, and that's why they are leading the group. Nigeria, always flattering to deceive with all the stars and the sort of quality the players they are possessing. Failing to beat Zimbabwe at home is the reason why they are falling behind South Africa. And I can tell you, in the next round, we are going to see South Africa host Nigeria. And that's where South Africa will have to tell us if indeed they are ready for the World Cup. So we'll see how that one will go. Tunisia are qualifying experts. They are always there when it comes to qualifications. I'm not surprised they are also having 16 points after 6 matches. Egypt also having a very remarkable run. Algeria also leading their group. I think, with the exception of the Senegal group, the Cameroon group, to some extent the South Africa group, I think almost all the other groups are clearly spelled out. And I think by the end of September, we'll be able to know which 9 countries are going to represent Africa at the World Cup next year.
Thank you very much, Nuhu Adampa. Kindly hold on. There are more conversations we could explore after. So kindly hold on. You spoke about Nigeria and South Africa. We've been joined by